There's Platt carrying the ball across the 40 and has the first down at the 41. Andy Canavino makes the stop.
Jim, what you're thinking about defensively now, you've got a 40-point lead with under 3 minutes to go in the third period. What you're thinking about, there's that last drive, 7 plays, 38 yards, 321. Terry Miller on a touchdown. What you're thinking about now, what you want is a shutout. More than anything else, you're looking shutout.
Now the defense really wants it. They've had an outstanding night. And here's a throw to Buggs again, and Buggs is going to step out of bounds again at the 49-yard line. A pickup of 8. Kyle Borland was there with him. Buggs has caught the ball just twice tonight. He came in one behind Tremaine Johnson, who is playing tonight in the second game.
They gave the attendance, I think, to the crowd here. They say thank you.
Play a little bit more like this, and they won't have to worry about attendance.
Remember, we have not seen Jimmy Jordan throw the ball deep yet. Whether he can or not, we don't know.
Second down, 2 to go. Somebody, did they move or not? There's a lot of people are going, and John Corker says, I know exactly who moved.
He's pointing to Gilbert, the tight end. But remember something, the tight end can move. As long as he doesn't move forward. He can move sideways.
That's charged against Corker and company. Banaszak said, how can that be? But John is at the other end of the line of scrimmage from that which encroached. Well, it's 5 yards, and that's going to move the sticks for a first down. Receiving leaders, we were talking earlier about the fact that you're seeing the top 2, and that Buggs has caught 2. And Walters, after yesterday, had 61. Tremaine Johnson started the weekend the leader, and he's yet to play. As Billy Jordan out of bounds, Oliver Davis takes the receiver, and that is number 86, the tight end, Lewis Gilbert, who makes his first catch of the night.
It's the first time he called Oliver Davis's name, and Clarence Chapman on one play knocked the ball away from Buggs, but the corners just had an easy night. First down-wise, Michigan 20, Tampa Bay 11.
That's a surprise. They've got 11. Because to watch the ball game, and they may have had 3 or 4 of those on that first drive before Kelly fumbled the ball.
Exactly.
Second down and 4 to go. 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. And here comes Boone. And Boone gets down to the 37-yard line before a group meets him there, led by John Corker. You know, we have to pick the men and MVP with $1,000 going to the college or university of that most valuable player's choice. And I'm looking around, and you can say, well, the Michigan defense. You can say Anthony Carter, punt return, but what about Hebert again? What about Miller making his first appearance? Lacey hasn't had that much of a chance. Or maybe we can look at some of the offensive linemen. It's going to be a difficult decision to make, Paul, I think, for the two of us.
Well, we know one thing that's going to narrow it down, that it's nobody on Tampa Bay's team.
Yeah, we have given the last 3 weeks, as I recall, the Men and MVP award to quarterbacks each time, and the last time we did not was to Buddy Adelette, a offensive guard and tackle for Birmingham. So you hate to say, here's your leader, give it to the quarterback. Although Hebert's done an outstanding job, but so has everybody else. We'll have to make a choice.
Boone, who's not a bad back in his own right, carried the ball 5 times, Jim, for 3 yards.
He had the first 100-yard game in the USFL, and it was against Michigan. There's a deep throw by Jordan. That answers your question, and there's the man to make the catch, Trevelyan. And Trevelyan now has his 12th touchdown catch of the year, and that leads the USFL. Answer number 1, Jordan can throw deep. Answer number 2, the Herc Trevelyan is there, and he's got his 12th touchdown, and there goes the shutout.
All right, Oliver Davis is going to be covering Trevelyan, and he gets tied up at Trevelyan's feet and falls down. Watch it right here. He's going to make the turn back. He just gets tripped on the artificial turf. Eric Trevelyan, great turn back to the ball, keeping his eye on the ball at all times, touchdown. There goes the shutout.
And that quiets this crowd here in the Silverdome, even though if the kick is good, it would be 40-7. And decision in to try with Gillespie to hold. And the kick is good. So with 2:05 to go in the third quarter, Tampa Bay's Bandits are on the board on the long touchdown pass to Eric Trevelyan. And it is 40-7. And Corker comes off the field, mad as can be that they score.
Because I was telling you, they want the shutout. That's the thing that they were looking at. Because remember this division, it comes down to points. And they don't want to give up any.
2:05 left. First of 2 games. We conclude this Memorial Day long weekend of holidays in remembrance with another game to follow. Remember, Arizona, Chicago. And then looking ahead, no matter what Chicago does tonight, Paul, I get a little excited about the fact that we get Chicago next Monday night against that Boston ball club that upset Philadelphia yesterday. But between now and then, on Thursday night, live, we've got a couple of big bouts coming up on Top Rank Boxing starting at 8:30 Eastern Time. Benny Bogner and Todd Longmore in one of them, but that's a 10-round lightweight bout.
Here's a great time again to see our second onside kick of the year for us. They have really nothing to lose. They're down 40-7. They need 5 touchdowns to win the football game. And Michigan, they are playing people up. They're waiting for the onside kick, but you've got to go for it anyway because, number one, the defense has really not been able to stop Michigan. So if you get a chance, you got to take a shot at getting the ball back.
They've got 5 men up at the 45, 3 more between the 50 and their own 45, but 2 a little bit deeper. Here it comes, that position. And they're guessing the right way to go, and it is picked up and down quickly goes Michigan. And that looks like number 59, Robert Pennywell, coming up with the good hands on the play. And Michigan's got the ball in Tampa Bay territory at the 45.
Jim, you know, I played that position years ago, and I mean years ago. But it's scary. When you see that ball coming at you, you know that you're the only one that can really handle the football, and you've got your job is don't think about running with the ball. Get the ball and get down because you know you're going to get drilled when you catch the ball. And we know that happened in Tampa Bay to Ramey. He got drilled and fumbled the football. Pennywell just took it and fell down.
Look here, we've got Jerome Stelly in the game. He returned kicks last week. Now he's in as a wide receiver. Number 38 on the far side, just signed before last week's game. And out carrying the ball is Terry Miller, and Miller bounces away from one tackler, gets inside the 40-yard line, and picks up a total of 7 down to the 38-yard line. And that is, we've said it before, but increasingly so, that's a very tired Bandit defense down there now.
They're extremely tired. You got Gettiker and also number 54, Tony Hayes, arm tackling. And when you start arm tackling, these guys, they're big enough, the backs are big enough, they're going to break the tackles, and you're going to see somebody go for a long gain.
37 yards, that touchdown pass from Jordan to Trevilian. Second down, 3 to go. And here's Miller again. And a flag down at the 37. Don Williams coming in. Paul, what about, and let's see what this is first of all, clip called against Michigan. What about if you're up 40-7? Or if you're down 40-7, you've got better than a quarter to go. It's much easier to play when you're up 40-7, I know. But is there a loss of concentration, intensity on both sides of the line of scrimmage or just on one?
I don't want to see it happen, but here's where people start getting hurt. You're starting to change people around. They're looking, all they want to do is get out of this ball game. They've got 1:12 in the third quarter, 15 more minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Jim. You just can't stop doing the things that got you the 40. I say this on every game that I do. But you still have to maintain your football team, keep your offensive intensity in there because you have them down 40. You're not trying to blow them out, but you're not trying to slack off either because every time you do that, you eventually get somebody hurt.
Second down and 18 after the clip. Hebert is 12 of 21 for 157 yards tonight. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Gets the ball and is overthrown. Cleo Miller coming out of the backfield. Gettiker puts a little hand on him to make sure he didn't have it. And it's third down. 1:06 left, third quarter. It all started back in the first quarter when there was a 27-yard touchdown pass, a thing of beauty to Cobb after Hebert had missed some earlier easy catches. And there have been turnarounds and turnovers. Gettiker had intercepted an Hebert pass. Kelly had fumbled trying to pass the ball. But then later Miller ran in 10 yards after Gary Anderson fumbled a punt, and that made it 14-0. Then there was a safety with Boone in the end zone, 16-0, and it was all downhill from there on for the Bandits at Tampa Bay.
All right, 3 wide receivers in the game.
Holloway in motion. Hebert, short drop, Looks as his man, McLean on the far side. And McLean's across the 45 to the 43-yard line where Jeff George runs him out of bounds. And it's 4th down and long. About 8 to go. McLean makes his first catch of the night, his 17th of the year.
Well, if Michigan made a mistake tonight, that was it.
You mean in...
Well, he threw the ball to McLean on the outside. He gets out of bounds and stops the clock. And if that's the only mistake I think I've seen him make.
Partridge to kick the ball away to Alvin Bailey, number 25, who's standing at the 10. His Central Division, many say, and the statistics prove it, is the toughest division in the USFL, and it's going to tighten up considerably after this weekend of play. Flag is down. Partridge kicks the ball away. Bailey calls for fair catch and then gets out of the way as the ball goes into the end zone. But let's see what the flag was on.
Offside Tampa Bay.
If it is, it would make it still 4th down. But 4 to go.
Defense, offside.
But now that moves the ball, Jim, inside the 40-yard line. And as well as they're running the football, but you don't want to, you still don't want to gamble.
Jim Stanley talking to his assistants along the sidelines has not yet made a decision what to do, but Partridge is coming off the field for the moment at least. But apparently he's going to remain in the game. As Bill Parker, there is Partridge talking to one of the assistant coaches. And there's Jim Stanley with a headset on coming in to talk to him. Moves the ball to the 38-yard line.
Offside. Number 57 in the defense. 4th down.
That's Relaford.
You know what he might have been saying to Partridge? Just tell him that, all right, they jumped offside one time. Why not have them do it again? Just take the clock back down because the 5-yard penalty again is not going to hurt him.
Partridge now standing on his 47-yard line. 14 seconds left on the clock to get the play off.
Personal John Corker. He is the center on the punt team.
7 seconds waiting. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, no jump. Kicks the ball away again, heading for, well, what's he going to do? It's going to reverse and go out of bounds. Everything's going right at the 10-yard line. 44 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. It is 40-7, Michigan leading. Have the ball, and again they have it in terrible field position, this time at the 10-yard line.
And every time they've been down in terrible position, Jim, they have not been able to advance at all.
Jordan is 7 of 8, 85 yards, 137-yard touchdown pass. Throws this one on a look in there to Buggs. And Buggs has caught yet another one, his 3rd of the night. And he's got a first down across the 20, but there's a flag down on the backfield, and the Bandits are moving backwards, not forwards. And the preliminary signal, I believe, is holding.
Jim, you get something, at 40-0, and you get a score. You think you've got something going. Then you get a punt out of bounds on a 10. Let's hear it.
Offense, number 67. 1st down.
Bob Van Dyne in the center. And then all of a sudden you get a pass play for a first, which looks like a 1st down to Buggs. And you get a holding penalty. Now you're 1st and 15, and you're in dangerous territory. You're down by at the 5-yard line.
This is a game you just like to forget and go out and start all over again next week. Gordon out of the end zone has Platt. And that is Chapman who makes the stop with a little help from Osborne. Gets across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And time may run out here in the 3rd quarter before they get another play away. There's been a 37-yard pass for Trevelyan for his 12th touchdown catch of the year, which leads the lead at this moment for Tremaine Johnson to play in the Chicago game to follow this one. But other than that, just say this ball game has belonged to Michigan through now 3 quarters of play as the 3rd quarter is over. And at the end of 3 quarters, Michigan 40 and the Bandits 7 with 15 minutes yet to play in the Silver Dome. USFL football Monday nights live on ESPN tonight, a blowout. I'm Jim Simpson with Paul McGuire. We begin the 4th quarter. The ball at the 17-yard line. 2nd down and 3 for Tampa Bay. Jordan blitzes on. That's number 6. That's the 52nd sack for Michigan this year. They started one behind Tampa Bay, and they've had 6 tonight.
Andy Cannavino, number 62. They didn't slide out. The guards didn't slide out. Just take a look at this shot. How Jordan holds on to the ball, I don't know. But he gets drilled.
Ball at the 10-yard line.
Here's some of the defense, and they're just bushed. They're just sprawled out on the fence saying, don't put us in right now.
Bucks can't hold on to it for the first down. Ball slightly behind him, and that defense that you just saw was pushed is going to have to come out again. By the way, the Michigan defense had 3 of their second line linemen in there, Banaszak, Albright, and Dokes on that last series. On those 6 sacks, 48 yards. Remember, Arizona and Chicago live from Soldier Field in Chicago with Tom Kelly and Don Heinrich standing by to bring you that live presentation. And George Allen Company would love to block it. They blocked it. And it's going to dribble out of bounds. And it's first and goal to go. Looked like Will Coakley, number 58. That's Moriarty, but it looked like Coakley, and it's the man, number 58. Watch.
Coakley comes right inside. The up-back went for the wrong person. You have to protect the inside of the kicker. Coakley is right there, gets the block on Andrushic's kick, and the ball rolls dead about the 8-yard line.
Well, that's one thing. Perfect shot there on television, fellas. You don't go for the man's foot. You go for where the ball would be coming off the foot, and Coakley did just that out in front of him and made the perfect block.
Exactly, Jim. In the up back, the man who was playing in the up position went for the wrong man. He went for Moriarty to the outside. It's tough for him to get there. You've got to take the guy that's got the shortest distance to the punt.
On the 8-yard line, first and goal to go. Whit Taylor is now the quarterback. Hebert is out of there, and he lost the football. Taylor did, and falls on it at the 9-yard line. What else can happen to the Bandits? A punt returned for the first USFL ever punt return touchdown. A safety in the end zone. A blocked punt. Onside kick. What else?
Here it comes. Now, Jim, see the up back. The up back goes to the outside. Coakley comes up free, straight up the middle, and you're right, he goes 3 yards in front of the kicker where the kicker's going to kick the ball. The up back made the mistake.
From the 10-yard line. Second down and goal to go. That is Eccles in motion. Taylor to Terry Miller, and Miller gets down to about the original line of scrimmage, the 8-yard line. Total offense, Michigan 327. Tampa Bay starting the game number 1 in the USFL. 180 yards total thus far.
So you add on that 46 in sacks, they would have had 226. Sacks are costly.
Stelly comes in, McLean comes in. They're the wide receivers. On this third down play from inside the 8-yard line. 2 wide receivers are right. Don't you know Jerome Stelly, who hadn't caught a ball yet in the USFL for Michigan, would love to have this one?
So would Eccles, the tight end.
There's Taylor evading the sack, but only for 1 man before Alonzo Johnson makes the sack. And that's number 1 for the night for Tampa Bay's defense. And now Boyovich will come on.
All right, Tampa Bay defense. Alonzo Johnson, number 58. Gettiker, you see him, 45. He's not involved in the play. The first hit was made before Alonzo Johnson got there, and that was Fred, I think it was Nordgren, number 68, that was there.
35-yard field goal attempt by Boyovich. 35 yards out. Boyovich has it. And the Panther beat goes on. They add 3 more. 12:31 to go. Boyovich smiling. His team leads 43-7. Chicago got 42 points against Tampa Bay. Michigan has gone ahead of that with 43 tonight and maybe more to come. Hey, that ball's live. Watch it there in the end zone. And, of course, Chicago is going to play Arizona live here on ESPN once this is over in an attempt to make it in the Central Division, the tough division, the USFL. Everybody 9-4. Michigan 8-5, 1 game back. Birmingham 7-6, 2 games back. And this is also, you've seen Anthony Carter with the first punt return for a touchdown ever in this league. 43 points, the most ever scored by one team in this league. Breaking the old record of 42, also scored against Tampa Bay. Remember the U.S. Open coming up live on ESPN. Rounds 1 and 2. With ABC to do rounds 3 and 4.
If Tampa Bay goes bad, they go bad in bunches.
They walk out of here no worse than that. Now, what do? Move the ball?
No, the offensive lineman, Doug Mackey, number 60, he moved.
Number 60 on the offense. First down.
You know what you do after this game? Tampa
Me
Bay.
or them?
Them. Tampa Bay. You take that film and burn it.
That's right. This is one to forget. And just go on.
Jim, it's not going to teach you anything. You know, they all know they played bad. You don't have to tell them that they played bad. They know it. You just forget this film and go on and worry about your next game.
Jimmy Jordan, the quarterback, on first down 15. Corker's moved outside now. And they give the ball to Boone, and that is Kyle Borden with him and Cannavino. By the way, as we take a look at Jimmy Jordan there, remember that Mike Kelly was coming off 2 good games in a row. Better than 53% of his passes, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. And he came a cropper here today, fumbling on their first long drive, and things went downhill from there. And Tampa Bay is about to lose its first ever game on the road. They were 5-0, and they'd won 3 games in a row altogether, and that streak obviously is going to go a glimmer. Gordon. And there's Buzz. Yet another catch, first down. Right between number 21, Oliver Davis, and number 52, Kyle Borden. They'll move the sticks out to the 35-yard line. And Jordan trying to keep his men in the ball game, meaning mentally in the ball game, and keeping them fired up even though the score is so lopsided.
He really does, and especially those offensive linemen. You don't want them to lose their concentration because he's the guy that's going to take all the flack. That time when he threw the ball, John Corker was right there in his face. Half a second earlier, he'd have had him.
Gillespie to the right, Bugs to the left. And there goes Platt. Remember, they're not using Gary Anderson, their recently signed star out of Arkansas. With the score as it is, clock continues to run, 10:45 left in the game.
Well, he got hurt in the first half, but he did come back. And, you know, I think with Tampa Bay, they're not quitting. And don't get me wrong when I say this. What they want to do is just get out of here without any injuries. Let's get home and work on the next game. This game is just all but forgotten.
Next game is Birmingham, which beat this Michigan team here last week.
Twice.
Out of bounds, first down. Across the way. That's the catch by Gillespie. And they'll mark the ball at the 48-yard line. Stops the clock. There is Anderson on the far sideline. And apparently in okay shape.
Kelly alongside of him.
And the man who is upset, Steve Spurrier.
His insides have to be boiling.
Jordan still got the football. Jordan dumps it across the middle and has Platt out of the backfield, and Platt may have the first down inside the 45-yard line. Tackled there by Robert Pennywell. No, I've seen all kinds of football games, and you've seen him played in all kinds of football games, Paul McGuire, but I've seldom seen so many different things happen. The block kick, the punt return, the safety, aside from usual touchdown drives, the dropped punt.
Everything that Tampa Bay tried this evening just did not work, and you've got to credit the coaching staff and the Michigan Panthers. Their defense has just been superb. Even though Tampa Bay moved the ball for a score, and they're moving again for this play.
Look at that. Sam Platt is simply buried by David Tipton, number 65.
You know, you get things moving, and all of a sudden they shut you down. And you know, would have been a different ball game? All right, here's a draw play to Platt. Tipton, number 65. There's a deal going on the inside. Pennywell went inside. Platt comes to the Tipton comes to the outside and tackles Platt. But would have been a different game. Tampa Bay took the opening kickoff and drove, not the opening kickoff, but after the first series that way, and I'll come back to it.
Oh, there's Bugs being hit by Chapman and drops the ball.
They go down and Kelly fumbles the football. They were on the move. They moved it right down the field.
John Corker has not had one of those 6 sacks tonight, but watch what he does here, number 57.
He's just sneaking up in the line of scrimmage, and he's there. He is right on Jordan. Jordan just rolls out to his right to avoid Corker. Corker wants a sack. He's looking in his eyes saying,
he's only got 21 and a half on the year to lead the league. Number 45. Maybe something about those sacks after this play. 3rd down and long, 13 to go from the 45. Jordan looking, and there's the interception made by Osborne. Osborne has his 3rd interception of the year. And well, that's one thing that hadn't happened to Tampa Bay. And that's the first interception tonight that I can recall against the offense.
it's the first interception, Greg.
Gallagher had one for Tampa Bay, but this is against them. So now they've really completed the grand slam.
Well, you take a look at the play, though. Osborne is there, number 23, and Jordan just threw the ball into a crowd. He did not read it. Osborne didn't really move. He was setting right there in the middle of the field.
Williams and Cleo Miller in the backfield. John Williams has scored his 10th touchdown of the year, playing very little. And now look at Cleo Miller getting across the 50-yard line to the 49. A gain of 8 and a 2nd down and 2, and the clock continues to run. 43-7 the score. And Tampa Bay is losing, and Michigan still has the football.
We talked about Tampa Bay's offensive line losing concentration. How many offside penalties do they have, or motion penalties you call for the offensive line? But you can believe that Michigan's offensive line, they're still intact, and they're still doing the job.
And Miller gets his 1st down to the 45-yard line. Remember, it is Arizona and Chicago immediately after this game, live here on ESPN. Well, I think Paul and I have been spoiled in the Silver Dome. The Panthers and their fans love this, but 2 weeks ago, Michigan was down 17-3 to New Jersey, Herschel Walker, and came back to win that ball game. Last week, that controversial call in the last minute went in overtime. Michigan lost the ball game. No such suspense here tonight, but this is probably Michigan's most satisfying game because they are playing extremely well.
They put it all together tonight against the number 1 team in their division.
Don Williams gets down to the 41-yard line. 2nd down. Just have had an outstanding evening, and well, we'll just say it one more time. I hope only one more time. The Bandits have had everything possible go wrong. Has tonight.
Jim, I'm just watching Jerome Staley now. He's in the ball game. He's getting his chance at wide receiver. Everybody's out, number 38. He went downfield on an up the middle running play and knocked Jeff George on his back. Just cut him. So they're still out there flying.
There's Staley, the man of course talking about wide left, lane to the right. And couldn't be too much time. They got 8 seconds on the clock. And more movement apparently in the offensive line.
False start. 2nd down.
This might be a record for false starts this evening. There may be another record we have. How many we had today? 8?
That I don't keep track of. Takes the ball back to the 47-yard line. Less than 7 minutes to go. And for Steve Spurrier, there's Kelly, who has now reversed his role with Jimmy Jordan. Jordan started out with a headset on and Kelly playing. Now Jordan is the man standing by with Kelly with a headset. 2nd down and long. 12 to go from the 47. With Taylor, throws it out here and over the head of Cleo Miller, and it's 3rd down. Which brings to mind a terrible night, and maybe John Reeves would have the same kind of night. But we'll point out again that Reeves told you, Paul, that he's fine, but because of the injured reserve that he was put on, he can't come off that injured reserve for many more weeks yet.
Well, he's fine. He says he's fine. You know, he wants to get back in there. When you break your wrist, you really don't know until you get in there and test it. But he will be back the last 2 games of the season and for the playoffs if they make it now.
Still a lot of games to go. But ESPN is here through the end of the regular season, which ends on July 2nd, the regular season. Taylor fires the ball, looking for McLean behind him and low at the 29-yard line. And it's 4th down.
Defense didn't like those 2 last calls. I'm talking about Michigan's defense. The clock did not run hardly.
And they got to come back out on the field. That's got to be a happy bench. So Alvin Bailey goes back for yet another punt. Rick Partridge comes out. He'll stand inside his own 40-yard line to kick it away.